Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share something with you that is incredibly easy and simple. It's really not even a recipe, and I had no plans on sharing it except on last Thursday I posted it on Instagram. It's kind of like because it was Throwback Thursday, I wanted to make a recipe that was from my childhood, and I had potatoes on hand and some spicy sausages, so instantly my Nonna's flattened crispy sausages and potatoes came into mind. Posted a picture. Every single person is like, recipe, 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 recipe. So here it is. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. The link will be down below. The recipe is literally just a handful of ingredients, starting off with potatoes. What I have here are some Yukon Golds. I left the skin on, less peeling, less worrying about everything, easy and simple. I'll talk about these in a minute. You'll need some spicy sausages or mild sausages of your choice. Again, we'll discuss it in a minute. Some chopped up parsley, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some light olive oil. Now, this is going to be something you're going to need a little bit of olive oil because what you want is for those sausages to get really nice and crispy, and any of the fat that it renders out, that's what the potatoes are going to cook in, getting crispy and delicious and flavorful. And now, you can use any sausages you like. Pork sausages, turkey, chicken, by all means, use what you love. My only thing is make sure you use the very, very best, because there's, the ingredients are so few and simple. They're the star of the show. There's no sauce really, so you want them to be really flavorful. I've got some really good quality turkey sausages, so that's what I'm using today. We need to flatten these out. So I'm going to show you how my Nonna does it, and that's how I do it. You take a sausage, a link of sausage, you take a sharp paring knife, like so, make an incision. You want to open this up kind of like a butterfly. I don't know why it's not cutting. There you go. Certain someone needs to sharpen her knives. Okay, you cut into it. You don't want to cut all the way. You just want to open it like so. And then you take off the casing. You don't need the casing. And now they're flat. See? When they cook, they get crispy, they get delicious, they cook in absolutely no time. And while I'm prepping one more, I want to tell you a little bit about what I did to the potatoes. You can use cooked leftover potatoes, or you can do what I did. I just boiled them for about 5-6 minutes, or until they were about a little more than 3/4 of the way cooked through, and then I drained them, and then I put them on a paper towel lined plate just to make sure that all the water is soaked up so that they're not wet when they go into the hot pan. You want them to be really nice and dry so that they don't steam but they crisp up. So those are partially cooked, and I'm going to finish them off in the pan. You can also pop them in the microwave if you don't want to boil them. Pop them in the microwave when they're diced to about 1 inch dice for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, I have a few more sausages to go, and then we'll start cooking. I've got a large skillet here with some light olive oil, just plain olive oil. No need to use the extra virgin for this because we need to get it to a hot temperature in order to really crisp up the sausages. And if it's extra virgin, it would burn and really be too strong flavor-wise. So light olive oil works perfectly. If you don't have that, by all means, use some flavorless oil like a vegetable oil, a peanut oil, something like that. I want that over nice high heat because I want these to crisp up and develop a lot of color. I'm going to add these in. And I'm going to cook them for just about 3 minutes or so on each side, or until they develop some really good color. I'm not going to overcrowd the pan, so I'm going to cook a couple at a time. And then once they're beautiful golden crisp brown on both sides, I'm going to move them to a clean plate and cover them with foil just to keep them warm. And I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, taking the last 2 out. Now, I'm going to just make sure to keep this covered. Timer went off. I'm going to make sure that that's covered at all times. Now, there's quite a bit of kind of fat in here. Well, normally I'd say get rid of it, but in this case, we're cooking our potatoes in here because I want them to be really nice and crispy. So, I'm going to add the potatoes in, stand back. They could splatter. And all you're going to do, and knock the heat down to medium, and I'm going to cook these for about 7 to 8 minutes, giving them a stir pretty much constantly, making sure that they're getting really nice and crispy, and I'll show you what they look like when they're about nearly there. My potatoes look positively perfect. That's how they should look. They should have that golden brown, deep crispiness all over. They do need to be seasoned with some salt and pepper. I do think you should try one first and then see if you even need to add any salt and pepper, because sometimes the juices from the sausages can be quite salty and you might not even need to add any salt at all. But here in this case, I definitely do. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley as well. I'm gonna just mix these together, and I cook these, and I stir them around with a spatula, like my nonna does, because this is my nonna's recipe. So I do things like she does. And now I'm gonna serve myself some because I am hungry and in desperate need of a sausage, which is nice and warm still, and some potatoes. I just love it. This is the epitome of like perfect food to me. It's simple, it's delicious, it's perfectly cooked, and I just could not love it more. I love the sausage. It's crispy and it's brown on all sides. And then that, which you know is going to be like heaven in my mouth. Hot. So hot. So good. Those potatoes kind of acted like a sponge and soaked up all those lovely spicy juices. Joe and I need to get to dinner. You need to get into the kitchen. First of all, go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe if you need it. And then get in the kitchen, make this, have a nice piece of bread with it, maybe a glass of wine, whatever your heart desires, and you will feel like you're at my nonna's with us. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time.